Welcome everyone to this week's podcast from the Unprofessionals with me, myself, Alex, and Jake Hobbs over here. And unfortunately, we would be saying Ben Spragg as well, but he's been a bit of a pussy lately, and he's not here today. So
he's choked.
Yeah, he's choked it.
He's seen United catching up with him on the timetable, on the Premier League table, and he's pussied out. He's running away. He's hiding.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reason. He's got flu from United catching up. So he's kind of recovering, hibernating, so he doesn't have to deal with us bitching about how good we are and how Liverpool are getting lucky.
That's it. I mean, if you're Liverpool right now and you see United right behind you, I wouldn't come in today. I wouldn't come in for this podcast, mate. I mean, we're all doing what we can, but Spragg obviously can't deal with the pressure, which is fine.
Yeah.
It just shows you Liverpool fans, doesn't it, mate? It just shows you Liverpool fans.
It just shows the difference between tier 4 and tier 3 and tier 2. It just shows you a difference, really.
100%.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird one, really, with United and Liverpool lately, isn't it? To be completely fair, United have pulled out a few good results.
I mean, beating Leeds 6-2 is nice, but I don't think we should get carried away.
No,
because Leeds literally sat there on the pitch and said, "Come on, then, let's have some." But you don't do that. Why would you do that against United? Because then we're going to go and bang in 6.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's Crystal Palace or I don't know, think of someone who can actually defend. Actually, Everton, right? We're not banging in 6. We're not going to bang in 6. They're going to sit back, pack the defence, and we wouldn't be able to score. So everyone's going to think, "Oh, Man United are getting carried away because we beat Leeds." No, you watch us next week. Leicester we got next week. They'll do us, mate. You watch.
Oh yeah, happily. They beat Arsenal. No, who did they beat? Yeah, no.
Oh, Leicester.
Yeah, who did they play? No, Spurs.
Yeah, they beat Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs, wasn't it? Yeah, 2-0.
Which has put us, I think, third or third or second.
I think we've gone third. Leicester have gone second. We've gone third.
Yeah, we've got a game in hand. Win that game in hand, we are 2 points off Liverpool.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll have to see if Spragg turns up next week. Hopefully, the whole virus of Man United catching up will set in and think actually it's a bit of a.
I don't know what sort of medication he needs. He might need to watch Man United top goal of the season's compilation.
Yeah,
that might help.
He might need to start taking medication on actually being a Liverpool supporter, to be honest.
Yeah, true. I've prescribed him a Bruno Fernandes t-shirt, but he doesn't. He said he's allergic to it. A bit weird.
Bruno Fernandes t-shirt. Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, Bruno Fernandes has been the one carrying us, to be fair. And he's done it again today.
I honestly, words can't describe how much I would generally want to live with him for the rest of my life.
I know, it's mad. Bruno Fernandes, since we signed him, he's been on form, really. We can't even fault it.
27 games, 16 goals, 12 assists.
It's mad. Every game he's creating something.
He's God. He is God. Did you see the video? Did you see the video of him? He's leaving his house, and his baby, his child, was holding onto his leg. Like, "Oh, I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go." And everyone's like, "No, fucking let him go. We need him. We need him. Let him get out." Like,
no, I haven't seen that, to be fair.
That's a good video, mate. He's literally there, like, laughing at his kid, and his kid's like, "No, please don't leave." And everyone's like, No. He needs to go.
He needs to go earn his money. He needs to go make United win again.
Exactly. We need to win the league. Let him go.
Oh, mate, honestly.
But hang on, we can laugh at Arsenal Football Club, though.
Oh, laugh? That's an understatement. Even the fixtures are laughing. Home away, home away.
Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal have been fucking terrible.
They are crap.
Like, I don't know.
They are so crap.
I don't know what's happened, though, because they were so... Well, they started semi-decently-ish at one point. Had a few decent results. I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, they won the FA Cup, didn't they, with Arteta?
Exactly. I mean, that's not the hardest thing to win, to be honest, but there you go.
It was against Chelsea, so...
Exactly. Yeah. It was before Chelsea spent all their millions, I think.
Yeah, now look at them.
Yeah, exactly.
Victor Lindelof's got more assists than Kai Havertz this season.
Lindelof is our centre back, isn't he?
Yeah. So Lindelof is a better creative player than Kai Havertz. It's cost him about 8 million.
Yeah. I mean, that's just Chelsea trying to spend before they get banned again, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. They'll find something dodgy with them next year, and then there'll be another 3 seasons.
They'll get done for breach of fucking financial fair play rules or something.
Probably, mate. It's their sporting director, not the Russian bloke, but they've got a woman in charge of their money, which again that could go anywhere. But it must be. I reckon she's doing something illegal.
Yeah, she's got to be.
It's got to be. She must be like flirting with them.
What? She's secretly offering the Chelsea signings. Look, I'll give you one night with me, and you can come here.
Yeah, a little, and then boom, that's it.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz comes in.
Yeah, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Thiago Silva.
Because you've got to be drunk, ain't you? You've got to join them at the moment.
I mean, at the minute, Chelsea ain't done too bad. They've had a better season than Arsenal. Can happily admit that.
I just something about Chelsea. I just don't think they're near winning material yet. Still, even after those millions, you just think you're missing something.
No, they're doing the classic. Oh, who is it? I suppose we could kind of say we sort of done it with Van Gaal when we thought we'll buy all these good, expensive players. Like when we bought Di Maria. I think it was his first season, wasn't it? We bought him really good, expensive, signed, really good player, but in United for that year he was absolute shit.
He started off brilliant. He had a good first 10 games, and then
it just went
I
downhill.
think his house got burgled.
Oh yeah, they did.
His house got burgled, and he was like, "Oh fuck that, I'm off."
Yeah,
and then really said, "Well, don't be a little pussy. Like, get security. Like, why would you leave?"
Yeah.
So he left like a little pussy.
Yeah, it was Manchester area for you, though, isn't it?
Well, it is the Northerners.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than Liverpool, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, the Northerners are more free than us at the moment, mate, because I believe they're still in Tier 3.
Yeah. I mean,
and we're in Tier bloody 4.
Yeah.
That's it. We're locked down. We're fucked.
Yeah, we can't do nothing. I can still go to work.
Can't do shit. Sorry?
I can still go to work.
Oh, you're still working?
Yeah, I'm still working. Yeah.
I start my new job tomorrow.
Oh yeah, of course.
5 a.m. start I've got, mate. Oh
God, early one tonight then.
Yeah, mate, I'll go to bed dreaming of our 6 goals we scored against Leeds.
just counting them over. Rather than counting sheep, you're counting goals. 1 United.
That's counting Scott McTominay goals. Did you, mate? Have a look at the highlights later. Scott McTominay was basically Lionel Messi.
I did see he scored 2 goals in 3 minutes at the start. I was like, hang on, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
I couldn't believe it. It was an amazing effort.
That's crazy. Absolutely mad. Then I saw at half time 4-1. I was like, hang on, what? This can't be right, surely.
Yeah.
4-1
United are winning at home.
Yeah, we've not done this for fucking ages.
No, this is weird.
It's a very weird feeling. But yeah,
so I'm talking of shocking results. Then, who's that Formula 1 bloke? He expected to win, wasn't he? Or
yeah,
he lost out.
George Russell was expected to win on his debut for Mercedes, and in all fairness, you could kind of argue he did win, but he didn't win. That makes sense.
I didn't watch it. This is you and Spragg sort of material, but obviously he's left us.
Me and Spragg sort of material. Spragg not here. God bless. Rest in peace, Spragg. George Russell should have quite happily have won that Grand Prix. Like, he was by far the fastest person on track, considering the car's not even made for him, because also they make the cars for each individual driver. So like one he was in was made for Hamilton to fit in perfectly. But also Russell's taller, which meant that he was a bit more cramped into the car than he should have been, rather than being quite comfortable. So he was like getting cramped every now and again when he was starting off during free practice.
Yeah.
So he was a kind of little bit of a disadvantage, really. But he just bonded with that car so well. It was unreal. He was, even though he lost to Bottas technically on position and in qualifying, he had that car set up the way he wanted it, and it was perfect. He was doing stuff that Bottas couldn't do. He got better start at the start of the race. Launched off from second to first place before turn one because his experienced teammate technically didn't get a good start, and he didn't. And Russell, in his first race start for Mercedes, managed to just ace it and do it absolutely perfect to a T. He then got fisted over with pit stop and puncture towards the end, which was a real shame, to be completely honest, because some of the moves, like he overtook Bottas after, I think it was a safety car restart towards the end. This was after they had the pit stop blunder. And put Russell, he had to come back in because they mucked up his tyres. So they put him back in the pits again. He came back out behind Bottas, and he just stormed past like everyone. There's a particular part of the track where he overtook him, and he went around the outside, and no one really made a dive down there. But Russell just done it and just didn't even hesitate. He knew exactly what he was doing. He got the overspeed, he got the position right, and just stormed past him. It was like, this is a 22-year-old rookie, basically. It's only his second season in F1, and he's just done that to someone who's been in F1 for nearly 10 years. It's crazy.
But he missed out, did he not? If I read it, apparently it was a sweet disappointment in the end.
Yeah, he got the second place with, I think it was 10 laps to go, and was chasing down Sergio Perez for the race lead. And then he got a radio message from Pete Bonington, who's Hamilton's race engineer, but also he was for Russell that weekend. He had a slow puncture on, I think it was the right rear tyre, I think it was. So he had to pit, and it put him, because also the field was still quite bunched up from the safety car, it was all really close to each other. He pitted and went from 2nd to 15th with 8 laps to go. It was crazy. It was so unlucky. It was basically 8 minutes left of the race because they went around the track in 55 seconds. It was so quick. So it was 8 laps to go. He had to make up as much as he could, and he managed to come from 15th all the way through to 9th and nearly catch up to Bottas again.
Bloody hell. It was crazy. I remember reading the news thinking, I'm pretty sure in the last podcast, you and Spragg were saying, he's got this in the bag, really. It's expected for him to succeed. But then when I saw that, I was like, oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
It's just unlucky, isn't it? It's the way the wind blows, isn't it?
Yeah, very unlucky. If those issues didn't happen, he would have walked that Grand Prix. He'd have won that by about 15 seconds.
Could you blame the pit stop?
The pit stop, you definitely could, because they even said afterwards we didn't need to pit them. They could have gone to the end, but they pitted them purely because everyone else was going on to fresher tyres towards the end, so they thought we can't leave ourselves stranded, stuck in the boat with everyone being quicker behind them on the quicker tyres. So they thought they'd pit them, but obviously they then fucked it up by putting Bottas' tyres on Russell, and then Bottas didn't get any fresh tyres at all, so basically just went for the pit lane for no reason. And then obviously because they mucked up Russell's tyres, they then pitted him again to put the right ones on.
You would have thought the team of Hamiltons, you would not be making that error.
Yeah, no,
surely.
You would have thought so. They've never.
Is it frequent though? Does this happen a lot?
Not with Mercedes, it don't. It happens with other teams, but not really with Mercedes. I think that's probably the first time they've buggered up this year, pit stop wise. Actually,
someone's getting sat then.
No, they took it on the chin. To be fair. Because they said they were going to look into it, but they said technically that the time the safety car came out and where the cars were on the grid, it was the last corner of the track, so it was either pit them there and then or don't bother, because by the time they go around the track they'll just be bunched up with everyone, so there's no point. So they kind of took it on the chin really, because they kind of literally just went, just come in, just pit, and then everyone just rushed out and they got all the tyres all mixed up, and it's kind of it was like saying pit now, and then 10 seconds later they was pulling up into the pit box. It was very last minute.
Oh, well, it just shows you everyone's human, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, of course it does.
Yeah, mistakes happen even with giants like Mercedes and the team of Hamilton and everyone.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it happens with other teams like Ferrari this year were absolute dog shit.
Really, who are the top dogs then in the Formula One world? Because obviously Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren rings a bell in my head.
Yeah, I'd say at the minute it's Mercedes and Red Bull. They're the top two.
Yeah.
Ferrari, if you're going by the constructors' standings, Ferrari are nowhere near. But they technically are.
They used to be, didn't they? They used to be top boys.
Yeah, they used to be top team, but they haven't won a world title since 2008, I think it is. No?
Bloody hell.
No, sorry, scratch that, 2007 with Kimi Räikkönen. That was the last time they won a world title. Of any kind.
What happened then? Did they just fall off the mark? Lack of funding, or just teams outdone them?
Just teams just got better. That's all it basically was. Ferrari didn't really put too much into it, and teams just got better. Like Red Bull came up in 2010. Obviously, he had Hamilton win after Raikkonen did when he lost that to him with McLaren. With McLaren's at its peak, pretty much. You didn't have Jenson Button win in 2009 with that Brawn GP, which then became the Mercedes the year after. You had Red Bull win it for 4 years on the row, and then you've had Mercedes win it every year since. Like Ferrari just haven't been. They've been fighting. They've been up front. They've been winning races still, and like getting close. But they've never really had the. It's more towards like the second part of the season. They've never really had the finishing touch to actually like go for it.
Yeah.
Where like they kind of stop improving their car probably a little bit too early maybe, and that everyone else is still making that one last upgrade, and everyone else's one last upgrade is enough to put them quite a lot in front, so then Ferrari just end up bottling it and they end up coming nowhere.
Yeah.
Which they've done many times. I
just never really got into Formula One. Like, no one in my household was into it. Like, my dad wasn't, Mum obviously wasn't, my brother. No one was into it. Whereas my cousins are, like, they're always, like, they don't go a day without some sort of Formula One thing going on. You know, they're all over it, and I just probably something I should get into. It's like one of the one things I'm so out my depth on.
Yeah, it's one of the things I'm too much in my depth on. Like, if you sat there and talked about football to me, I could brag it a bit, but not too much, as we'd know with the podcast. But with Formula One, you cannot shut me up.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's good.
I can already name you the grid for next year, and they've not even really announced. They've technically only just announced all of it, pretty much. I'm that bad.
I wouldn't even know, Matt. We wouldn't even know where to begin. When's the next bloody Grand Prix? Where is it? When?
It will be.
What's going on? What's the next thing?
It will be in March. I do believe it's like the 14th or something of March, or that sort of time frame. And it is in Australia, where they normally start it. Yeah, they always start in Australia, but they didn't this year because of COVID, so they've kept it European based this year. But next year, they've got a proper 23 race calendar sorted all over the world.
They're anticipating a slight back to reality then, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll see, won't we? Like, you know, with the news of Christmas being cancelled by Big Bad Boris, well, for us anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it all looks quite doom and gloomy, but with the vaccines being rolled out and things happening, you never know, mate. You never know, but
you never know. We might be
Formula One and that are opening up their schedules like normal. Then maybe there's a bit of breath of fresh air somewhere.
Yeah, there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel for definite in every region. Obviously, you could argue South East and London have been a bit more. Fuck it, can't be bothered.
We've been absolutely busted, haven't we, mate? We've been done in.
We have been absolutely done in.
Have you seen the statistics?
No, I know. Sort of, we've got a new strain that's down here more than it is anywhere else in the country. I know that much, and I know it's 70% more contagious. But other than that, I don't really know the statistics.
Mate, we're just absolute to put it in like a figure of a map. Imagine a map of England. Imagine how darker it is how more affected we are, right? So up north, around the middle, and especially towards the west, it's, you know, like a light blue, for example, like this, maybe, like this.
Yeah.
And then down in the southeast, you've got this blue. You've got this. Like, we're getting absolutely busted. And I think a lot of it is probably due to, because we've got major ports, haven't we? Like Dover, Portsmouth, Southampton.
Yeah.
And obviously London you got your massive airport. So I think it was no surprise for us to eventually become the worst part of the country.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's just, fingers crossed and things recover, and let's hope Spraggy ain't got COVID.
Yeah. Let's hope.
But at the same time, like you said, there is light. We got the vaccines, you got the Formula One and everything. They're scheduled to be normal. Vaccines are rolling through. We've still got some fans in, I think, in the Merseyside, Liverpool area.
Yeah. There's not many stadiums with fans at the minute, is there?
No, I think it's all Merseyside. I think it's Liverpool, Everton, and one other, maybe Brighton, or someone.
That's down this way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Someone blue, I think, has gotten away with it. They still got fans. Maybe not Brighton.
I think I remember Southampton still having fans at some point, but I don't know if that's recent.
I think that was when we got back at them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3-2, I think.
I think it was though, because I remember they had fans in.
Yeah.
And that was...
Well, I for one certainly miss our fans.
Oh yeah.
Mate, imagine playing in Old Trafford like that. It must be a bloody ghost town.
Oh yeah, the only thing you're hearing is players shouting rather than people cheering or booing. Whatever.
Yeah, normally booing. Yeah. But right, a big old empty stadium like that. No wonder why United's home record's probably off the charts a bit, mate.
Yeah.
Imagine owning a mansion and you're the only one that lives in it. It's going to get a bit lonely, bit worrying sometimes.
Yeah, it will be, won't it?
It's a horrible place to be in at the moment, England.
Yeah, I'd say we're one of the worst countries in the world hit by it, to be honest.
That's because we've got one of the worst governments in the bloody world.
Yeah, I know. Can you really blame Boris at the minute for doing what he's doing? To a degree.
No, I don't blame him for doing what he's doing at the moment. Like, locking us down makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of, are we too late to the mark again? Like, if you look at New Zealand and Australia, as soon as they had a sniff of COVID, like a little whiff of it, they went, right, fuck that, everything closed, I've had enough, no one's in, no one's out, everyone's staying indoors, fuck you. Now look.
Yeah,
they're doing okay.
They're New Zealand.
Yeah, then New Zealand, they've got people, they're filling up stadiums because they can do shit. Whereas we're like, oh yeah, we've got a couple of cases coming in London, and that's it. All right. Oh god, it's now in the hundreds. It's now in the thousands. Oh shit, let's lock down now. It's a minute too late for us, and it just seems to be the case every time. Boris promised us a Christmas, and now we don't have one.
Yeah.
It's just typical England, mate. Late to the party every time.
Always is. But it's like I've seen plenty of people like on Facebook start moaning about Boris, the guy that stole Christmas, sort of thing. Which, I suppose you can argue he sort of has, because we can't see our friends, our families. Can't do it. I can't celebrate my birthday at all because obviously my birthday's 3 days after. So it's like I can't do any of that. But it's like at the same time when you see the pictures of places like Primark and Bluewater, Harrods in London, do you really see the point of it's not really Boris's fault? Like people complain about it a lot, but I've been like, well, technically, as much as I can agree, Boris may be late to it and the government may be late to it, but people doing that sort of shopping in close proximity, even though you're wearing face masks, you ain't giving a distance, you're still touching everything that someone else has touched beforehand. It's not really...
Yeah, I think, what was it yesterday? I know the point you're making. I think there's a big old rush at St. What's that?
St. Pancras.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
People trying to get out of different areas, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're fleeing, and then there's people in Bluewater and other shopping facilities just absolutely ramo.
Yeah.
Getting their last bit of Christmas in. And you think, like, I like to point fingers at the government, but at the same time, we've got to point fingers at everyone that we know and everyone... and all these other people, like youngsters and even adults going to do their Christmas shopping. What a joke. Yeah. Imagine that. Boris is like, oh, by the way, things are getting a bit shitty again. Can we all just keep back in this, let's keep calm? Everyone flocks and runs to the shops. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, you're not giving Boris a bloody chance, are you, really?
Yeah.
I think that just shows the stupidity of the people in this country, mate. So naive. We think, oh, we're England, we're Great Britain, we'll be all right. Nah, mate. If you keep acting like that, flocking, like you said, we're going to be stuck in this longer than the rest of the world.
Yeah, easily. And I don't know about
until we get our vaccines, and they're slow going.
And at the same time, if we are getting our vaccines like we are now, because you've got the new strand that's making it spread quicker. Who's to say that if you get vaccinated once, you've got to get it twice? You get vaccinated once, in them 3 weeks, you could still get it, and then it'd be pointless because you could be one of the ones that are quite vulnerable.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and let's not forget that although the virus has mutated, but not in terms of danger, criticalness.
No, thank God.
It's just changing how it spreads. It can still mutate.
Yeah.
You know, things can still happen, and it does that when people are not following the rules. You know, they're very spontaneous. Viruses can do all sorts of shit, but
yeah, but it's like
if we just stick to the rules, we will be out of the system quicker.
Yeah. Well, it's like even the flu that mutates every year. There's always a different strand of it. That's why when you get the flu jab, you get a new one every year because it's a different flu every year.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't ever cure that. And coronavirus, obviously, it mutates like any other flu. This is a normal disease. It's going to change. It's not going to stay the same all the time. At some point, it's got to change, and it's done that.
Which is why I'm so scared, because you get this vaccine for this strain, right, of COVID that's coming about. What happens when there's a new one, a new strain?
Yeah, which it doesn't hurt, which it doesn't touch.
Yeah, I mean, so in my head, using whatever poor medical knowledge I've got, I just see us going in circles.
Yeah.
But I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think it's going to get to the point where we're going to be jabbing and poking everyone to the point where we're going to go, right, fuck it. We just got to get on with it.
Yeah, it's
I think that's what it is.
It's going to be okay. If we're not sorted of this by, I like to say summer next year, so we can have a decent summer because we didn't get that this year. But
holiday season.
But if we're a year from now, if we're having this same conversation with Sprague involved this time, if we're still here having this conversation about COVID ruining our lives, then the government might as well literally just say, right, bin off all protocols, do what you want, just take caution and be careful.
Just don't be a dirty bastard.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of it.
But the only exception you have to make is maybe don't travel. Like all travel for anything is banned because otherwise you can then risk making the rest of the world worse.
Yeah, I mean, there's statistics showing the death rates, and obviously at the beginning of it, we were sky high. Like people were dying left, right, and centre. Apparently, dropping like flies.
Yeah.
But obviously, a lot of that was down to medical records, such as like people dying of bloody brain cancer, but they had COVID at the same time, so they just ticked it off as COVID.
Yeah.
So the statistics were exaggerated, but at the same time, they were high. And now you look at it towards the end of the year, they're low, which means that we've got control on it. It's only now it's even more so vulnerable people that are suffering. We've got a massive high infection rate, but the death rate's quite low.
Yeah.
It quite obviously hundreds of people dying, horrible, but compared to thousands, you take that. So I mean, there's progress in how we're dealing with it.
But then at the same time, you can also think that obviously during the first lockdown, when we were doing all these tests to death ratios, we weren't doing nowhere near as much testing as we are now per day.
This is true, which is why there's more infections.
We're finding more cases. Yeah, that's increasing because we're finding more infections because we're doing more testing. But the death rate isn't changing because there's still the same amount of people dying per so many infections. We're just finding the infections early and sort of making it easier because we're finding it and we're hopefully doing the right thing, staying in.
It's the cat and mouse chase, mate. That's the thing, and at the moment we're losing.
Yeah.
But only by an arm's length. So we are catching up. I do think, especially with our science, especially England science, UK, but we've got the best science in the world. It's not going to be long before we grasp the virus by the bollocks, I think. But I mean that has to come down to the people as well. And is it Mill? Did you see Instagram and Snapchat of people going out partying?
Yeah, I've seen on my Snapchat. I've seen people on my Snapchat. When we got announced after the end of November lockdown, and obviously we was in tier 3, but London was tier 2. I've seen people on my Snapchat say they're going to London to go drinking. I'm like, well, that just defies the whole bloody thing.
Yeah, you're taking the piss now. Don't get me wrong, mate. I'd love to go out and bloody go to a restaurant, be on my cocktails. You know what we're like? We love a brew.
I'd love to go to a pub again. I'd love to.
Yeah. Me and you, we've got a lot of drinking to do. But we're not travelling to fucking London. We're not travelling to bloody Devon to go and get sloshed. You know.
To be fair, we're banging all of you to go to Devon.
Oh, yeah, me and you would let's go to Devon at one point. But
it's like we're being sensible.
Yeah, I don't get it. I've seen all these girls and guys, and they're like doing Snapchats of themselves, like in a group of people on a table, fucking getting sloshed, and you just think, really? Can you not wait?
Yeah, can you not wait a few more months, maybe?
Is that really like the only thing? Is that really the only thing that gets you going? Is that the only thing you live for?
Is that the only thing that, like, I've seen couples that have been together quite a while on my phone in particular, and they were going to London, doing this, doing that, and going to Essex. I'm looking, is your relationship that boring that you need to go and kink it up a bit by going somewhere you shouldn't be? Have a bit of danger and go, oh, we're going somewhere we shouldn't be. This is nice.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think you know, I know a couple of people, close friends, that can't see their missus as much as they want to. You know, they can't even go in the same bloody house.
Yeah.
You know,
you can meet them in a park.
Yeah, you can meet in a park, but you're not going to exactly start having sex in the park, are you?
No, not really. It's not. They don't exactly advise it, do they?
No, I mean, it's not. Well, we've all been there, but you know, it's not exactly ideal.
No.
But that's the thing. Like, I do believe it is taking a toll on people, and again, there's another statistic. You know, divorce rates have increased. Suicide rates have increased and will continue to increase, especially now in this part of the country. So I do think it does have a toll. But like you said, do you really need to risk your life and other people's lives just for a few drinks up in London?
Yeah.
No.
Not really.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you have a partner or a best friend or whatever it is,
you do what
you can. You want to do what you can to be able to do those things, but B, at the same time, you're close enough with them, in love with them enough, or whatever it is, to be able to maintain a friendship or a relationship by not doing these things. Yeah. I could meet you right now in the park and it would be cool as fuck. Like, nothing would be. Yeah. It would be calm.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
You know, I don't need to go to spoons with you. I don't need to go to spoons with you and get pissed.
No.
Why do people feel like they have to? Because then it's making things harder for people like us who actually can't be fucking arsed with this anymore and they're getting fed up and working.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people aren't bloody working as well. And me and you, especially myself, I've been working non-stop.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because when I come home from work, I can't even go to the pub with my mates. You know,
yeah.
And then I go and I look on Instagram and someone's getting fucking absolutely tit-wanked in bloody London. It's like, it's just frustrating.
It's very frustrating. It's like it's making me realise that this time around, I'll admit. I mean, first lockdown, I'll admit, it was boring. There was nothing to do. Couldn't really do much. Obviously, then started easing it a bit, so started doing more normal things. Obviously, me and you met up a couple of times outside safely, obviously, and then when pubs reopened, we done the right thing, all that sort of stuff. Like we followed it as we should.
Yeah.
But then this time, I'll admit, it's to a point where it's like you still can't do anything, and because we're even worse than the rest of the country, it's going to get to a point where I will literally just think, you know what? I won't really miss the place like the pub and restaurants as much because I've learned to accommodate myself. That makes sense?
I get what you're saying.
So it's like before I used to kind of think, I'll have a takeaway, I'll go out and have something to eat, I'll go to a pub and have a few drinks, spend some money, have a night out. Whereas now, because I'm realising that I'm trying to find other things to do to take up that time, these things could potentially replace that time. So rather than saying, I'll go to a restaurant or get a takeaway, I think, actually, I'll cook my dinner tonight. I'll stay in, I'll watch a few films, I'll do something else rather than wasting money, sort of thing.
I think what you're saying is that this whole scenario that we're in has taught you that you actually don't need to go out as much as people think.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're saying. Like, it's taught you how to appreciate things that you have that aren't outside, and I get that. But I think I speak for everyone here that when we can officially go and do what we want to fucking go and do again, I know full well me and you are going to hit it hard.
Oh yeah, well, the moment we can, just pub, all night bender, no shits given, no budget, just drink,
which is sticking to the law and the rules. We will do what we can, but for what we're saying is, why do it at a risk now?
Yeah, we'll patiently wait till it's safe and then go.
We will wait until someone says, Jake, you can go to Spain and you can fucking get sloshed up in a bar and you can travel the world. And I'm like, okay, now I'm fucking going. I ain't gonna just travel up to bloody middle of nowhere for the sake of it, you know?
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Desperation, it's not worth it, no. I'm gonna be occupied anyway with work, mate. That's it. That's gonna be my life now until summer, just constantly working.
It's gonna be a life all in a minute until Boris relaxes the lockdown, really.
Yeah. We're gonna be one of the last fuckers to get the vaccine, me and you.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have privileges because I'm going into civil service, but I think generally it's young people like us are getting it last. I think kids will probably get it before us.
Yeah,
because of schools.
Yeah, vulnerability and because they're doing like mass testing for when the schools go back in January, aren't they? They're only allowing the older ones to have it, I think, aren't they?
I think it's like year 9, 8, and 10 or something.
Yeah, like the one. I think it's like the ones taking exams or things like that. They're going to be getting it, and then the ones that don't have anything important in their year don't really go in as much, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. I think I did see some geezer talk about it. His elder students will be getting things because they've got more important things going on.
Yeah.
You know what though? I feel like we're quite blessed that we're not in school.
Oh yeah.
Imagine us in school if this went down.
God, we'd honestly have given up. We'd have honestly given up.
Honestly, plus people need to go to school, man. Like we would have suffered. I think we all would have suffered grade wise.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I feel very sorry for the kids that have had to deal with this crap at school. And risk their lives, mate. They got to sit in classes of 30.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like I've seen loads of people saying that. How can you justify again going back to the whole tier 4 announcement, that sort of crap? Teachers can't mix with can't have a household like their families around, so they can't have their mums and dads around for their family sort of thing. But yet they can mix with 30 other families with their kids.
Yeah.
Like what's the difference?
Yeah.
What is honestly the difference?
So technically, I saw like a paragraph. It's like a teacher can mix with 30 plus bubbles, but they can't go then see their mum and dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how can you justify that?
Again, it's mad. It is mad, but I think that does sum up some of the government. They're very contradicting on all the rules they make. But again, you have to feel quite sorry for them because no one's prepared for this, are they?
No, I mean no one was. It all started at the beginning of the year, and no one was prepared to take action then, and they're still not prepared to take it now.
Yeah,
realistically.
I mean, could it have been handled better? Yeah. Could it have maybe reduced the problems that we're in right now? Yeah. But ultimately, we are in a fucking pandemic, and shit was always going to happen. Yeah. Regardless.
It was never going to be one of those things. Like, the amount of times I've seen, let's keep it in 2020 and 2021 will be the year. Yeah, it will be the year when we finally get rid of it. But I'm not going to put a number on when it's going to happen.
No. I mean, I think next year's going to start off quite dark, you know.
Oh yeah, it's going to start off worse than this year, 100%.
Yeah, I don't mean that in terms of infections and death, but think about all the companies, mate, that have gone into admission and local businesses and people. There's thousands of people who've lost their jobs, and then when the job market opens up again properly, there's going to be an absolute flood of people trying to get a job, and it's going to be complete chaos. The companies are just about holding on. Did you see that Topman, the owner of Topman, he nearly had to close down Topshop, sorry. They nearly had to close down.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to think everyone shops there. But
yeah, that's mad.
It's going to be such a weird start to the year, and this is probably one of the darkest parts we've got to get through, I think.
Yeah.
And hopefully that light at the end of the tunnel that Boris says he can see, hopefully comes to play.
Yeah. Let's just hope that next year is the year where we actually battle through it and get it all sorted and we can return to normality.
Yeah, and I think I speak for the whole Unprofessional podcast here. So any listeners, anyone who's listening, taking part, we are all here for a chat if anyone needs it.
Yeah, 100%.
I think me, you, Sprag. I think Sprag's done his bit on media. He's opened up and said to people he's available. I'm available.
Yeah.
Obviously yourself if anyone needs it, because it's a hard time for everyone.
Oh yeah, 100%. The amount of times
Unprofessionals reach out their hand if anyone needs it.
Yeah. We're definitely unprofessional about sport. That's a certain given, but
yeah,
we can definitely turn it around to be a professional in being someone to speak to. 100%.
In being a human being who can look after someone, we can do that.
Yeah, 100%. We can definitely be one of the ones to actually chat and be there for someone. Because
yeah, of course.
I know it's a dark time, but the whole suicide rates, it is crazy. It doesn't need to happen.
Especially if anyone, I don't know if Spraggy does, but I don't know if you do, but people who you know who suffers from mental illness, I live quite closely to people who do, and you just think, I've got to keep an extra eye on these people now because they're more isolated than ever before, and they're more scared than ever before, and it's a tough time for everyone, and I think people need to keep an eye on those people that they know need to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
My advice to people would be, if you know someone who suffers, check up on them.
Yeah. Even if they don't suffer, and you get on really well, still check up on them, because obviously everyone hides.
Oh yeah.
Everyone hides it.
Check up on your mates. Check up on your family, because you never know. You could save someone that day.
Yeah, very easily. You could save someone without realising it.
Yeah.
And then by thinking to yourself, I'll message them later, that could be the thought of, are they here or are they not? You never know. Because it does happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get through it. We'll get through it. I know we will. And then eventually, any viewers we have, even without the viewers, me, you, and Spag are going to meet up and we're going to do a proper podcast in person.
Yeah.
And that's what we're aiming for.
That is the aim.
What we're aiming for.
I am currently looking at items to try and make the podcast in person a bit more professional.
Nice.
So rather than having to share one mic and it being really dodgy and echoey, I'm going to try and sort us all out proper stuff. So we have a proper setup. Be nice.
Proper gear.
Yeah. It'd be budget compared to some people's podcasts, but it'd be something.
We do what we can with the tools that we have at the moment.
Yeah, quite easily.
Yeah. Especially with Zoom calls and that, and me and Sprag, we haven't got really the necessary equipment. We're making do.
Yeah.
We are making do, waiting for that time, that blissful time where we sit in a room together, raise a beer, and have a good old podcast.
Yeah, have a good old mukbang or drink bang or whatever.
Definitely a drink bang, mate. That tequila bottle is still full and untouched.
You still haven't touched the tequila bottle?
No, I've got my Game of Thrones and my Star Wars shot glasses, so they'll be coming over.
Oh yeah, definitely bring the Star Wars ones.
Yeah, I've got a Boba Fett one, mate. Beautiful.
Oh bloody hell, it's going to be fun. It is definitely going to be fun.
Yeah, that's definitely an episode people need to wait for, because is.
We don't know when it'll be coming, clearly.
Nah, yeah, it could be in 10 years' time, lads, but it's coming.
Fucking tier 89 later.
Yeah. Did you see that meme? It was like, what's next in tier 5? Boris Johnson just comes up and bums you.
Have you seen what says in tier 10, Boris tells you not to put your bin out?
Yeah. And I've been to the tier 3000.
Yeah.
Not much has changed, but we live underwater.
yeah. I've seen all that. That's brilliant.
We've got to make a joke.
I've definitely seen the one. You've seen the one with the bloke peering out, shouting out the window, going, "Hey you, what tier is this?"
Yeah.
Honestly, they're brilliant. They were brilliant.
Yeah, light has been made out of it. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
People having a laugh. But people are laughing at us as well, mate, because some people obviously aren't in tier 4. So I saw on Twitter like, oh, what's all the tier for? All the tiers for, or something like that. Like people just taking the piss out of us.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Bloody Northerners.
Don't worry, I'll catch up with them. It'll get to a point where we think, you know what, fuck you Northerners, and we'll end up getting better and they'll get worse.
Yeah,
just because
then it'll move. It'll shift up the country.
It'll just slowly migrate.
Yeah, they can have a shit summer, but we're all going abroad like, hey.
We're getting pissed.
We need to get a massive, on The Simpsons, like a massive dome.
Yes.
Right, when you get one of them and just chuck it over fucking Burnley, like, here, have that.
Have that, you cunt.
Yeah, stay there.
You mocked at us and we didn't have this, now you're even worse, so you fucking have this bit of glass.
Yeah, this bit of glass, fuck off. They will go feral over there, knowing them.
Oh, yeah. Put it over Liverpool, not much would change, because they'll just literally continue eating their fucking rats in their council houses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It surprises me that Liverpool's okay. You know what I mean? Like they are a different breed up there. Like, no offense to any Scousers listening, but what a shithole.
Or any
fans. Yeah, how are you not a tier 4? I don't know. They've got bloody docks and canals and bloody rivers and how people go into Liverpool. How have you not got it?
Yeah, no, it really don't make no sense. Like, how is Manchester worse?
Yeah, how are we worse? Sheppy, that's what it is. Sheppy.
Yeah.
Scumbags. They've done us all in.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it all started off with Medway getting worse, didn't it? And then all of a sudden it just kind of just went on from there. It was like, Medway's worse, now Swale, now Maidstone, now this. Yeah. It's like, okay, now all of Kent is fucked.
Yeah. Isn't it weird when you see, like, on the news, everything, like, worst hit places, and you see Maidstone, you think, fucking hell, I'm there. I'm in the middle of that.
I just remember coming home one day from work, and my work, I think it was someone I know said, you've seen Maidstone's quite bad lately. I'm like, no, is it that bad? I was like, yeah, apparently it's quite bad. I was like, I've not heard nothing. But obviously I keep the data like BBC, Sky Sports, and Sky News, and I didn't see nothing of it. I thought, perhaps just one of those things joking around. I got home, watched the local news. Top 5 worst places in South East, Maidstone, number 3. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, shit. Mate, it feels like it just happened overnight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We went from being like really calm and things are okay, gym's open, happy days, to shit. Get inside now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
all
much.
Right, no worries.
It's mad. It is absolutely mad at how quick it's changed. Like I remember it's been September and being like, oh, it'll be fine. We're doing all right. We'll have a decent Christmas. Be fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now it's like you lot can't do fucking nothing. It's like, oh.
Yeah, you can't see your nan now. Okay, fine, no worries.
Alright, fine. Yeah, brilliant. I can't do nothing.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And then all of a sudden, like yesterday, I remember doing a little bit of last minute Christmas shopping for a few people. This was about midday. Went out, done my bits, got back home. Then all of a sudden I was on my computer and all of a sudden flagged up boss announcement 4 o'clock. South Eastern Tier 4, everything's shut from midnight. I'm like, thank God I've done my bits now then, because I wouldn't have been able to do them otherwise. Crazy. Yeah. It's like, shit. Absolutely mad.
Well. I think that might wrap it up, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely wrap it up there. I think we kind of pretty much exhausted the whole little bit of sport of recent times.
Yeah, we've got Spragg ignoring us because he's scared he's going to lose a league. We've got United eventually going to win the league. COVID being a bastard. And Russell missing out on what we all expected him to actually get. So,
yeah, definitely. It's been a very wide, varied podcast this week. Talking about
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, to be fair, I think doing more of a podcast is just talking whatever just comes to mind.
Yeah.
Also, we have our talking points on sport because we are the unprofessionals.
Yeah. But we're always going to yap about sports, but I think sometimes we need to reach out into what's actually going on around us, which is quite good as well.
Which at this moment involves most of the bloody country and being COVID.
Yeah, exactly. COVID, everywhere I go.
Yeah. Wherever we
Right.
go, it will follow. But yeah, I think that does pretty much sum it up for this week, really.
That sums it up, guys. I will see you all maybe next week. It's Christmas, isn't it, next week?
Yeah, Christmas. Do we do one beforehand or do we do one after?
We'll see what Sprag. We'll see if Sprag's alive.
Yeah, we'll see if Sprague. We're trying to get a Christmas present with Sprague back on the podcast.
Yeah, happy days.
We'll just freshly remind him that Liverpool are not losing the league yet. It's still early days, but United are.
Yeah, exactly. We'll give him a little bit of hope.
Yeah, we'll give him a bit of hope, and we'll think we will succumb to Liverpool this year, just to get him back on the podcast, and then all of a sudden we'll think actually United are going to thrash you. We'll do that.
All right. See you later, then, boys.
Yeah, thank you very much for everyone tuning in, and we shall catch you in and around Christmas time. Thank you very much for joining this week, Jake.
Yeah. Peace.
Yeah, peace. See you later.
See you later.
See you later.